So today we're going to be working on this side of the engine and freeing up some space. Looks like I'm going to be having to remove this stuff here, all the wiring, and a couple hoses, so let's get to it. Before I start, I remember that I forgot to take out this hose here, and they call it the brake vacuum hose. So that's this hose here. Alright, I got it all loosened up, so now just kind of pull it right off. So the first thing on the list is the high tension leads, which those are just the spark plug wires, and it should be in there. To remove the igniters, there's just a couple I'm holding it in place. There's 4, 2 on each side. So yeah, these are just 10mm bolts. And there we go. So yeah, it has this little clip here. You actually push it up and then it just slides right off. To remove the trailing coil pack, just unlock this one. And 2 more right here. There's one here and one underneath right here. There we go. And this has 2 sets of wires here, but they are different, so even if you take them off, you won't get messed up. Super hard with one hand. And the leading usually has this here, so it holds them together, and then it goes down there. So while I do the work up there, getting all the wires and stuff out, I thought I would drain transmission fluid. And well, here's the transmission, and here's the plug. And I believe it's a 24mm, but I don't have that. But I have this 15/16, which sort of fits in there. So I'm gonna knock that out real quick, and then I can get going with the other stuff up there. For this connector here, it looks like there's a little tab here that you just pull up, and then it should slide out. So the oil pressure gauge connector that they're talking about is on this here, and it should just slide right off. So yeah, that ground wire that the FSM is talking about, and that is right there. This is the bolt right here. So it's kind of above the oil cooler line on the back of the engine. The way you can tell that it's the ground wire is it's exactly the same as the battery one. So the yellow and black. So it's a 14mm bolt, and it's one of these long bolts, so it was probably best to go underneath the car, because you can access both sides of the bolt and it'll be easier to take off. But next, it says we're going to remove the canister hose, which is this one here. It should just pop off. Instead of removing it from here, remove it on this side because it's a lot easier. So now I'm going to go and do the fuel lines. Just kind of grab on and just kind of slide it out of the way. Got some more some rags here, so that any of the remaining fuel will just kind of spill onto there instead of the engine or the paint. There we go. There should only be a little bit of fuel in there, or none at all. Next one. So this doesn't want to come off, so I'm just going to cut it. And just a little bit of fuel in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove this heater hose. So it connects back here. So it takes in the coolant from there, goes to the heater core, comes out the other side, and it starts down there. It's kind of a hard place to reach, and I put something down there just because I know there's going to be coolant in there. So after a lot of struggling here, looks like the hose might actually come off now. And just as I thought. I guess the next step is to remove the oil cooler lines, but I already cut them before. If you're going to do this, the rear one is back here, and it's a 23 millimeter bolt. I would recommend using a breaker bar, or else that's going to be a huge pain to take off. I already loosened it, but make sure to have something to catch the oil with, because you can see there's already oil coming out. And then the line just come out here, and there's the bracket they're talking about in the FSM. So I guess I'm going to do the power steering now. So first thing I'm going to do is loosen this 17 millimeter bolt, and then there are another 2 bolts, or 3 bolts actually. You can see it right there. There's one. Come over here, and there's 1 and 2. And I've already loosened those up, so I'm just gonna take them off and just be careful not to bend anything that shouldn't be bending. And yeah, just put it to the side and we should be good to go. A lot of work. Move that pulley, and came here and it was pretty stuck, so I just kind of stuck this in between and just cracked it open. Came right out. Now I can take these bolts off. Be super careful here. The power steering assembly should just come off. And there's a bolt back here too, but there we go, it's off now. There's a couple hoses here that I'm going to be careful with. I was finally able to take this thing off. So this is where all the pulleys are. I missed one in the back here, but finally found it. So this one and this one are 17 millimeter nuts, and then these 2 up front are 14. I believe this one, or this one I guess, this bolt right here should be a 14 as well. So yeah, now it's looking pretty bare in here. Alright, looks like the only thing holding this thing back is this connector here. Looks like you just press it and pull. So since I'm going to be taking out the engine and transmission, I better get the transmission ready for that. So in order to get rid of this stuff, you're going to want to take the shifter knob off first. Now you can just twist, and then you can take out the little stopper. Then you're going to want to pull the e-brake back as far as you can, if it still works. And then you're going to want to lift from underneath here. There's 1, there's 2. That should all come out. There are 4 different clips. Don't break it. Here still has it. You can take off this weird sort of foam. So in order to remove this center console, you're going to want to open this up. There are 2 screws here. One there, one there. And I believe there's some in here. The tool I suggest you use is one of these. And just kind of go in here, pop that out. In here. Lift it up slowly. Put that out. Next one. And there you go, all of them are out. Remove this whole piece. There's 1 and 2 screws. For the shifter, there's all this rubber stuff. Yours might look horrible, because mine did when I first got it. I did change all of this, so it's pretty new. But it does have this cover here. You're going to want to remove that. It looks like I'm also going to have to remove these 3 bolts over here. They're holding the shifter in place. Now that I removed the bolts, it's just a matter of... Here we go. Now this whole boot is need to be taken off. Well, everything's out. I got the whole shifter out. Boot still in good condition, so I'm going to reuse it all. That should be it for the top. Well, it was a pretty productive weekend. The engine is finally free. And yeah, I think that'll be the end of this video. It's pretty dark now. So yeah, catch you in the next one.